Hello and welcome to today's podcast. If you have been following us for the past few days, you know we have been discussing decision making in the agribusiness industry. If you have missed our earlier podcast, I will advise that you go back and listen to them. They've been very inspiring and they are all in our social media platforms. Today we will be focusing on those factors that influence our decision. Now, it's necessary for us to know that when we talk about factors that influence our decisions, these factors technically affect the quality of decision that we'll make. So the objective of our taking note of these factors is to give them attention when we are making decisions, because they in their own self, they are silent factors which we may not know that they have such capacity to influence the quality of decision that we make. The first thing we need to understand is that every human being don't have the same capacity to make the same level of quality decision. A lot of factors affect the level of quality that our decisions are. Some of these factors is what we are going to be looking at. And the first factor we are going to be taking into consideration as we look at the things that affect the quality of decision that we make is our personality, our temperament, our natural makeup. Some of us don't have the capacity or the patience to reason through our line, the consequence, the options that are placed before us. We are always in haste. We are not detailed. We don't follow through. So most of the time we just make our decisions based on the surface. We don't take time to really dig in deep to find out what are the implications of this decision, what is the link between this decision I'm making and the next step of action that we'll be taking. Will this decision, is this sustainable? This decision I am making right now, the influence is going to have on our production line, is this sustainable? For example, imagine you are changing the type of fertilizer that you are using in your farm. It will affect a lot of other things. If I switch to liquid fertilizer, for example, do I have the capacity to sustain it? If I switch to the crystals, for example, do I have the manpower that can apply it? All those things, you discover that one decision has a way of influencing every other action that is coming up in the process. So our temperament plays a great role in that. Another factor that is very important that influences the quality of decision we'll make is the quality of information that is available to you. Decisions are made based from various options, various alternatives that are placed before you. What is the quality of information you have available to help you determine which of these options will be in your best interest? So it means the amount of knowledge you have acquired will help in making the kind of decision you make. Now, if we understand knowledge can be acquired formally through institutions, it can be acquired through informal means. Knowledge can be acquired by observation. There are a lot of ways we can acquire knowledge. So what amount of knowledge do you have? What amount of information have you acquired in analyzing these options that are placed before you? It will influence the kind of decision you will make. Experience is the third factor we'll be looking at. Experience gathered over time. There is a popular saying that experience is one asset that cannot be bought in the market. You cannot walk into a mall and just shop for experience. They are more or less like experience can be likened to scars of war. You have been in the business over time. You have been in the industry over time. You have seen how things change. You are an authority as a result of the experience you've gathered via knowledge, via application. You know the pros and cons. You have had cause to make this kind of decision in time past, and you were able to project, or you were able to see the implication of such decision which you have made in time past. So you are able to take such experience and you apply them. So the experience plays a great role in influencing the kind of decision you make. So that's why you discover most time as you get higher in operations, decision making becomes easier. Another thing that drives our decision also is our faith and our belief system. You discover that most businesses, the faith of the promoters of the business, or the belief system of the promoters of the business, it influences the kind of decisions that are taken, it influences the goals, it influences the objective, it influences even the actions they take over time. So if you, for example, you are of the faith that doesn't accept a particular gender to work, it will affect the decision you make when it comes to recruitment of manpower. If you are of the faith where you don't eat a particular kind of animal or some particular kind of crop, that alone has already influenced the kind of crop you are going to plant in your farm or the kind of animals you are going to put in the pen. If you are of the faith where you believe, where you have, or your value system talks about integrity, it will determine how you will, the kind of decision you will make when you relate with your market, when you relate with your suppliers. All these things they influence the kind of decision you make. Another part where we'll quickly look at is also your passion. Your passion influences your decision. If you are very passionate about what you do, you are most likely going to dig in deeper into the options available. So as we end this podcast today, there is need for us to know that when we talk about the influence of your decision, it doesn't necessarily mean that these actions will make you take a bad decision. At times, it's the other way around. It can help influence you to make a good decision. But one thing we will advise you to do is that be conscious of the fact that these points that we have raised, they have a role to play on the choices you make. So if you are conscious of them, you are able to, it helps to guide you in making such decisions. For further inquiries on our products and how we can help you grow your agribusiness enterprise, kindly visit www.justoneplot.com. Thank you.